Oy. Boy, it's hot in here. Is it getting too hot in here?
I'm good.
A little warm, that's cool. I can hit the button on the...
Don't turn AC
where the
on.
air conditioner is.
No.
See my fingers working.
All right.
Go. I'm looking at a black monitor. I'm on air.
Yeah, you're on the air.
Good evening and welcome to On Stage with Mantis.
Shut it off on
Mantis. This week we're having Henley Douglas Rhythm and Blues, HDRnB, with Henley and Douglas, and R&B. And we have a guest interviewer this week, Miss Caitlin Russell, who's coming in. Caitlin? Okay, I'm going to turn the stage over to you.
Right.
Have fun.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Not bad. How's it going?
Great. Getting ready to play some music.
Yeah, I know. So I just wanted to start off. I know you've both been in a bunch of bands, and you even co-founded 2 Boston bands together, Heavy Metal Horns and Boston Horns.
Well, actually, Douglas sang with the Heavy Metal Horns and sang with the Boston Horns, but I co-founded those bands with some other players.
So how did you guys have all been together since 2010?
Maybe a little earlier than that, actually.
Yeah, 2010, I think, is right.
So, yeah. I mean, are you talking about this band?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So how did you? I know you played with the Skins in the '80s and some bands in the '90s as well. Can you tell me how you evolved up through that and how you ended up here?
Yeah, basically just you play with the band till you decide you want to do something a little different and you change it up.
Yeah.
So that's how I evolved through all the different groups I've been performing with. Douglas and I started this about 3 years ago, and it's starting to really take hold, and we're playing all over New England, so it's been a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
And do all of you play in multiple bands?
Yes, Brandon has his own band, Groove to Groove, and these guys are 2 of the baddest rhythm section players in New England, so they play with other bands too.
Okay.
All kinds of bands.
Oh, and just to introduce the other band members, this is John Iltis, am I saying that right?
Iltis.
Iltis on drums, Dave Walker on bass, and Brandon Terracant
Terracant, yep.
Terracant on guitar. Well, I wanted to ask you too, you've been around for a while, what's the benefit of being in multiple bands at one time for a musician? Do you just learn more from other people, or?
Well, I think for a lot of guys, if it's what you're doing for a living, it's how to make a living, because you can't do it with one band. So, you know, the professional cat's got multiple gigs. And, you know, it's also just interesting as a creative artist to, you know, experiment and do different things with different players. Different people bring different things to the table. So
Yeah.
I think that's, it's mostly from a creative standpoint.
So you get to learn a lot from other musicians the more you play?
Absolutely. You know, you find some new chemistry with somebody that pushes something in a new direction. You know, Brandon's playing with us for about a year now, and he's brought his own thing, a lot of New Orleans flavor to the band, which has been really refreshing and great, and it's a kind of that brought the band back to that direction. Not that we didn't have a good dose of that to begin with.
To like a New Orleans flavored direction?
Yeah. He was down in New Orleans for 15 years with Crew to Groove, and just came back to the North Shore, so we're happy to have him back, and it's been a really great addition to the band.
Brandon, do you want to talk a little bit about your time in New Orleans?
Sure. Yeah, I've been playing professionally down there since 2001. Before that, I was studying jazz composition and performance at Loyola University in New Orleans, and the life lessons, musical life lessons that you get in that city go beyond, you know, the classroom of a lot of jazz education.
So would you say you learned more actually getting out there and playing than you did when you were at school?
Yeah, I think that's kind of part of New Orleans is that music is everywhere, culture is everywhere, and you hear it whether you're, you know, walking down the street or all the clubs and bars and restaurants. It just kind of, that city breathes music,
Nice.
you know.
And are you from New England?
Yep.
So was that a huge culture change for you going down there?
It was. I was 17 years old when I moved down
Wow.
there. So I lived half my life down there. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So what brought you back up here?
I've got a brand new 5-month-old gorgeous little baby boy,
Aw.
and my family's up here. And
Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right. Well, back to you guys. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Well, actually, I want to ask all of you. Do you guys do a lot of improvisation in your live shows, or?
Oh yes, that's what we do. You know, even the way we write our songs. It's Most of these songs you're gonna hear, all the songs you're gonna hear tonight, the original songs, were created as a jam on a gig.
Yeah.
We record the music and we kind of shape it up a little bit, and then we put it into our set.
So you guys like never play the same song exactly the same twice?
It's played the same way twice, but the solos are different.
Okay.
Maybe sometimes Doug will change his interpretation of the line, but you know, we try to keep it flexible. But after we figure out how we want the song to sound, we give it a form, and the form's always moving, you know.
All right.
Depending on who, like on every song, you don't know who's gonna take a solo. One night, somebody will have a solo on a certain tune. The next night, somebody else will take that solo. So to me, that keeps it really fresh.
All right.
And Henley's good at on-stage direction. Like, he'll come up with ideas on stage and start, you know, giving directions to us while we're playing. So we have to stay on our toes and keep our ears open, because if HD thinks we're snoozing, he's gonna throw you a curveball.
Yeah. I'd like to say that John Iltis and Dave Walker are two of the best rhythm section players around, and they've been playing with me the longest, probably almost 7, maybe 8 years. Yeah, and I'm so lucky to have these great musicians to play with, because you know it takes a lot of dedication to come out and play this type of music, and you know and to try to dedicate the time to it. So it's been excellent.
So do you play with any other bands around Boston or Massachusetts?
Yeah, I play with Brandon's band every once in a while. Me and another drummer kind of share that thing a little bit, and lots of like pickup dates with singer-songwriters and stuff like that. And then I work with a band down in Philadelphia too.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a lot of traveling.
Yeah, it's a lot of driving around.
So what about you? Are there any other bands you play with around here?
Yeah, I have the opportunity. I play with a bunch of different stuff. I'll play in, you know, one day I'll do like a classic rock band. The next day I'll be with a salsa band or Latin band. So yeah, the North Shore of Massachusetts is a really cool place. There's a lot of stuff going on.
South Shore's cool too. Don't get excited.
No, that was by no means throwing
Look,
down
these
any
guys
sort
are
of
so
musical
bad
genre.
that everybody wants to get them on their gigs,
Yeah.
but don't tell too many people, because we really need them to keep cracking these
Yeah.
gigs too. So, you know, that's what happens when, you know, the good guys get the call, and when you're trying to pay your bills playing music, you play with as many cats as you can. You know?
And we've been playing down here in Plymouth lately at the
New World
Tavern. The cave, there's a room in the back called the Cave, and it's a great stage, great sound, great lights, great people, fantastic beverages, and we've had a really good time.
You guys there regularly? So
We're trying to get on the rotation, so maybe
Alright.
mentioning it on this show will help.
yeah, definitely within driving distance to Wareham. So
Yeah.
So
Great bar too.
speaking of paying your bills, do you guys like have day jobs while you're?
Well, I do. I work as a CAD designer.
Yeah.
You know, I work in engineering. I mainly do that because, you know, my music is so important to me that I want to be able to play the music I want to play when and where I want to play it. So I don't want to have to go and play, not that I'm, you know, snubbing GB bands or wedding bands, but that's not what I want to do. I want to play original music. So I'll do whatever it takes to make that happen. You know? So most of these guys, though, teach and play and are artists.
Yeah.
You know, and they have their own business, so.
Cool. You guys teach music or?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a painter and designer myself.
Yeah, I remember reading you've made art in 30 different countries.
I don't know if I've made art in 30 years, probably. I usually paint while I travel.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, I've definitely been around.
So in all your travels, what would you say is the most interesting place you visited?
Oh my God, it's an incredible world. What's the most interesting? I'd probably have to say Varanasi, India.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an incredible city. It's the music city actually on the Ganges River.
Cool.
And it's a fascinating place.
What kind of music did you hear out there?
A lot of tabla stuff. A lot of you know, I was hanging out with some people making some original modern music with traditional instruments. So it was really an interesting mix.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So what kind of stuff do you guys have in store for the viewers tonight?
Grooving original music.
All right.
And we want to thank you guys for having us down. The band's playing all over New England, and it's starting to happen. So we're having a lot of fun. We're in the studio. We're going to leave this session and go mix some new stuff we recorded about a month or 2 ago.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So that'll be available like, on your website?
Yeah, definitely.
And that is?
HDRnB.com.
Okay. So So this is HDRnB, and they're going to be playing for you, and you can also catch them at the Lizard Lounge in Cambridge on March 8th. And this is HDRnB, everybody.
Thanks, Caitlin.